This was not just about balancing a budget. It was about weathering two very distinct and individual storms: a financial crisis and a fiscal crisis, and a new White House that is determined to attack our economy.
Governor Wes Moore signing Maryland's budget into law. It raises taxes and fees by about $1.6 billion and cuts another $1.5 billion.
I think it's important to remind folks where we were, taking a $3.3 billion deficit and turning it into what ended up being a $2.4 billion cash reserve and surplus.
These numbers are just projections. People could change how they act or even move to avoid paying them. President Trump could make more cuts at the federal level.
Like every other state, we have to balance a budget. And we balance a budget. It is balanced for one day, and it's on paper only. So that's my biggest concern.
Governor Moore also signing the Next Generation Energy Act into law, focusing on cutting red tape for solar energy production.
I think that energy and the budget are still driving everything. We're forcing far too many energy companies out of this state.
Vetoes were announced Friday evening, leaving some perplexed and caught off guard.
Because this was so startling to us all, given the almost unanimous vote in the General Assembly, and that we have been working with members of the governor's office and his team. So we were very startled by that.
Lucille Walker and the Maryland Heritage Areas Coalition championed a bill that allowed but did not require the governor to give the group more funding. The governor cited fiscal implications in his letter explaining the veto. The governor's veto of a bill to study reparations in Maryland has also drawn pushback. The Legislative Black Caucus saying Governor Moore had the chance to show the country and the world that here in Maryland we boldly and courageously recognize our painful history and the urgent need to address it. Instead, the state's first black governor chose to block this historic legislation that would have moved the state toward directly repairing the harm of enslavement. The governor's letter saying, "I strongly believe now is not the time for another study. Now is the time for continued action that delivers results for the people that we serve." The governor vetoed line items in the budget as well. If the legislature wants to override them, they have 30 days. And once they meet again, a decision of overriding any veto will have to be made. In Annapolis, Jeff Morgan, WMAR 2 News.